Hello everyone, welcome back to luck-based degeneracy, where art is all luck-based. I'm your host, Kreat-like-crete, and joining me is...
I'm the co-host, AbsolonAnonymous.
And we have some special guests here today. Please introduce yourselves.
It's your boy, Pad.
And Bamboo-Ale.
Hey.
You may know me for the shitposts.
I was gonna spotted cow tongue.
I think most of us know... I think most of us know you a little bit more than that, Bamboo.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think so.
That thing is very infamous. It's more famous than me by now.
Maybe you could give everyone some solid answers to it later down the line.
Yeah. If the right questions are asked.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah if
We've
you
been
want
thinking
time,
for the last good couple of months now, and there's been a burning question of all of our minds.
Yes.
And the question is why?
Why?
Why
Why
are you
not?
doing it?
Why not?
Just why not?
Okay, that's it. That's it, everybody. You got the answer. It's why not.
why fat women specifically? Is it because they get your pee-pee hard?
Yes.
I mean, that's about
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There's your
as
answer.
good a reason as any, I guess. Let's not get on...
Hey, what's your favorite Dr. Phil episode about?
I actually never watched Dr. Phil.
My favorite
I only know him because of the meme.
My favorite Dr. Phil episode is the one where he says, like, you're fat, you're stupid, you're ugly, pay me $200, wherever that one's from.
You're ugly, you're disgusting, I hate you. Pay me $500.
I just love how out of context that has been made.
Well, we all hate commissions, right?
No. The best.
You do?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I do now at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. Because it's like you're making money, but at what cost?
It's probably a commission, and it's probably because we all hate owl drawings.
Our drawing that I did by a very well-known person, circle of friends who we don't really like. No name drops. We try to avoid those unless it's someone who being a real, piece of garbage.
Right.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about, right? The dude did a 5.
You mean the one he asked where he asked me for a 5-part request? Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I think the one time I traded with him responded after I did my part. That was my, and I did a piece for him, and it's in my gallery. You could find it if you look. But yeah, I hated doing what I did, and I didn't really enjoy it at all. So never doing a trade with that guy. You changed accounts, and he's Armin. I'm pretty sure, and I think he knows that I know who he is, which is why he never speaks to me. But yeah, that's my story.
I would say... I'd say the worst piece of art... There's only a few pictures on... Well, that are no longer on my account. That I actually deleted out of shame. And a lot of them were just Christmas-related ones back when I was constantly overstressed during college, because I was trying to, produce a lot of stuff for Deviantart, while at the same time having to do a bunch of college work. And I remember just a bunch of Christmas-related pictures were, like, the worst thing I ever drew. And I also drew this one picture of Olivia from the, Pokemon Sun and Moon games. And me also realizing, oh wait, she's young. I can't do that. So I got rid of that, and also it was just the worst thing I ever drew. In terms of regret, I guess one thing I regret is just not being better before I actually started posting stuff online. I think that's my regret, is like that era of stuff. So like right when I first started, I should say.
That's
It's part of
that's universal.
Well,
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
I'm pretty much like posting all the shit that I hated in chat. But it's like all old shit. And there's one where a girl's just but her face is so fucking so much that I made that. God damn it.
Oh well, we all make mistakes.
Not me. So, what next? What are we gonna talk about next? Or wait, Bamboo, did you ever have anything you were disappointed with? Ashamed of or disappointed with that you posted?
it was probably old work.
Just old work.
Oh no, I remember I have a good one. It was this commission, it was a long time ago. Like my first account ever. I was like 14 at the time, and there was this girl that just stood near pressures on. Oh, I really like your art. Can you draw this guy for me? And I'm like, alright, it's cool. He's from an anime, I can do that. And it was this like tennis guy, I don't know what it is. It was like a shoujo manga. It was some like handsome guys playing tennis. But I drew the picture for her, and like one detail she specifically asked for me is like, draw him with a muffin. And I'm like, alright. I don't know the reason why I did it, or maybe because she asked for it, but I drew like a massive muffin. Just like gigantic in the background. Like far off, like a mountain. And she probably just wanted the guy to have a muffin in his fucking hand. I just drew like a fucking unit of a muffin.
That's...
I don't know. I think she liked it in the end.
That doesn't.
You gotta be specific.
That doesn't sound like something to be ashamed of. That sounds fucking hilarious.
No, but it just looked really bad. I was like, it's old art, man. Like I drew the guy's legs like super long and also skinny, the same Paddy had.
I mean,
the same kind of.
It's all about that shoujo style body, dude, where they always have stupid legs.
No.
And arms. Have you seen yaoi arms?
That's what I was just about to say, was yaoi hands.
Yeah, the yaoi hands are ridiculous. Like something out of like a horror movie.
They got the fucking Crypt Keeper hands. They just
the Crypt Keeper
extendo
hands.
fingers.
Extendo fingers.
Go fingers.
Go, guy.
Hey, Bamboo, I did have one question. I remember a little bit ago. It's been like a decent amount of time, but it's like you and a couple other artists. I think it was Jito, and then it was Kip and Matcha, and you guys all got together.
Yes.
And then you like did some sort of like collective group meme about the state of the community. And then everybody got so mad.
Oh yeah, they got mega salty.
They got mega salty just because, you know, I was like calling out how people pirate stuff, and you know, it's just like saying all these. Yeah.
I think it was the facts much more that we were all into it, so it was like really big names. So Kip and G, like those two already like was like, whoa, they're working together on something, and it was just like was not planned out. And like later on, like G like totally backed out of it. And it put back, and that's the worst thing you can do. It's the worst thing. You've always to stay down on your argument. Stay down.
Yeah, you gotta stay firm on those kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, because
and that was like that just made it worse. And
because I remember in some of the servers I was in, or in some of the places I went to, and how much there's just an actual like salty backlash against, you know, calling out the community for that, because that's like a legitimate thing. That newer talent kind of gets squashed, and you know, older talent moves on to something else, or just uses something, you know, does something productive with their talent, and people pirate ridiculously hard in the community. And I thought it was very cool of you guys to, you know,
to acknowledge that it's not lies what we said and what was in that post. It's not lies.
You guys aren't lies. People who like deny that are just guys who they just fap all day, and like they think that it's not an effort to draw.
Yeah.
And like it's just porn, We don't have to pay for porn. We don't have to put effort into what other people do. It's not like they're doing it because they enjoy it. No, they serve us.
There's
we the consumer deserve the free fetty.
An old excommunicated friend, or I shouldn't say friend, an excommunicated acquaintance that I once knew. Yeah, I didn't agree with him on much, but he said one thing that I'll always remember, and because he was 100% right on it. So the people who complain about this stuff being hard, or no, who complain about this stuff not being free, are the people who have never worked for anything in their life. And that's like most of these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm like not really motivated to open a Patreon or anything like that. One, because like Patreon's going through that whole collapse with that new like light system or whatever's going on.
Yep.
Just like because why should I pay, or why should I make an effort and do all that stuff if my art's just gonna get pirated by some
Schmuck.
some dude and put on BBW Chan?
Or what is it? I think there's one called like, I'm pretty sure the name is like.
Don't share your knowledge. It's forbidden knowledge.
Yeah. I'll just bleep that out. I'll bleep that out. Yeah, I'll bleep that out. But yeah, that website is specifically made for Patreon only things, or private stuff that people are meant to pay for, and it's literally a database there just for people to be lazy and be like, oh yeah, well I just don't have any money, but I'm getting tired of the stuff that I'm wanking my microdong to, so I'm just gonna steal it. Fuck it. I deserve it, man. I deserve it. I didn't put any effort in. I deserve it though.
Nope. Can't blame me.
So we're not allowed to talk about that site.
Yeah, I would prefer not bringing any attention to it, so I'm just gonna bleep out what the party is. I'll put something else there as a soundbite instead.
Yeah.
I'll put oof.
Just put it like a bicycle horn or something.
Brandon.
Nope.
Or
I am going to say that, like, if it is there, I'm not going to. I'm gonna get curious and look, but I'm not gonna actively pirate stuff.
Yeah. There were some artists that I was tempted to, but I decided to say, yeah, fuck it, and donate to them for about a month or so, just to see some of the stuff that I really wanted to see from them. Like that one guy who has the cowgirl, and he does a bunch of animated GIFs and all that. She has like the massive tits and all that.
Yeah,
he's great. He's really good, and you guys should go support him. I can't remember his name though. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Oh, if I follow him, I can get him.
It's I want to say it's like Hadaraki or something. I can't.
Hadaraki sounds right.
I really want to say it's that. But yeah, he's really good. He deserves to have people pay for his stuff. See, the thing is with the Patreon I started up, it was going to be for comic funding, and the comic was going to be 100% free to read. It was just going to be that would be, you guys want to help me, if you want to make it easier on me to actually make it.
It's advertisement, self-plug.
I mean, I'm allowed to do that. Fuck it. I'm my own advertising agency, bruh.
Hadaraki Ari.
Yeah, that guy. He's a cool dude. Does really good art. He deserves to have people pay him for it. But I just can't get my head around that. With people just I can't get my head around that. Like the amount of what do I say? The arrogance of someone saying like, yeah, just because I don't have the money, but I still deserve to see the porn. Yeah. I just don't. I don't get that mentality. Well.
Yeah, I don't really take advantage of those sites anymore. I don't look at it anymore. I avoid them. I just realize that's kind of like scummy either way. Even if I'm not like actively doing it, it's still like it's not right.
Yeah,
it just feels like dirty,
because I mean, with some people for games or whatnot, and this is coming from a guy who used to pirate a lot of music, which is, you know, like dime a dozen nowadays, but I guess in that case, my mental gymnastics was, I'm taking from a multi-billion-dollar company that, you know, I'm like one of like 100,000 people who do this kind of thing. Like that's a fraction of the market. They're not going to be breaking their backs over this. But to steal from one person who's, you know, just trying their best to, you know, make some money off the thing they love to do, like that thought doesn't go through their head, you know. Well, I guess that would require empathy and, you know, actual thinking, but.
Ooh, we're getting some spice. This is like the controversy episode.
Not really. I mean, that's. I don't think it's very controversial to say, you know, that stealing is bad, or that.
No, we're gonna get called out by all the people on the internet. They're gonna say, "Oh my God, Absalon support people being paid for their hard work."
Kreat
wow,
and Absalon.
What a bunch of scumbags.
They're Nazis.
Yeah, they're Nazis.
But
they support capitalism.
Yeah, fucking getting paid for your efforts and making sure that, you know, the ability to eat because you're providing a service and should be paid for it.
Yeah.
Or you're making a product that people want to buy and you're not getting paid for it. That's just wrong. It's just wrong, dude. But I don't think we're gonna convert any people. Honestly, the people who are going to pirate are going to pirate anyway, and they can, you know, they can suck each other's dicks on BBW channel they want. So I could give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
God bless all the honest people.
Yes, thank you. Your support to everybody is great.
Out of the heart, for nothing at all. They're awaiting nothing in return. Just blessings.
Yeah, you guys are the real champions. The people who donate your hard-earned money to help us degenerates work on raise our luck skill. We spec into luck.
I do this for free, basically. I don't really charge commissions, but I could respect those who put hard work into, you know, like doing this kind of stuff, you know. You go to a party, like, what do you make money off of? Oh, I make money drawing fat women.
I mean, it's a.
Pretty sure you wouldn't say that in public, but.
I mean, I did once.
Still.
A couple of friends.
I've just told people flat out, like, yeah, people online ask for weird shit, and a lot of times it just happens to be fat girls. I draw it.
Money is money.
Money is money. Yeah. And I just recently raised my commission prices up because I've got stuff I need to pay for, and already I'm getting people say like, "Oh man, I was gonna commission you, but you know, ain't got the money for it." I was like,
"You're too expensive."
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I don't know where like the proper number is for that kind of stuff, but
people get used to a certain price, and if it goes up or down, it's, you know, it fluctuates.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Like compare prices.
Probably should do that. Yeah.
And you just gotta feed it out every time. And I've, like, from the time where ours started, I've like risen my prices every time I enter, every time. And like the more I've risen them, the more people I've come and heard like, yeah, I cannot afford it, but I will wait like a couple of months and then I will pay.
Yeah. I mean,
so people will still come no matter what.
Yeah,
if your product that you are making is good.
I was thinking of starting up like payment plans where you can do like, oh, if you want to pay like half the commission now, and then you can get the full commission, you know, without like a watermark or something. If you just pay the other half down the line, then yeah, that sort of thing. But maybe I'll try that out. Maybe I'll add that in, or if people want to buy from me, I can put that as like a little footnote.
No, art on the internet is very, very underpriced.
Oh yeah,
undervalued. Underpriced and undervalued.
Oh yeah, I think it's just because of the ease of access for it. Like, there's so many people who do it that people just think, oh yeah, it's just kind of a free for all. It's whatever. It's like a giant bazaar.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be a bit, what do you call it?
Competitive, I guess.
No, schemy. You gotta know how to scheme. Know your way around.
I get that.
So, for example, what I do is I always compare like to the most bigger names. So like, what does Trinity, for example, charge? What does these people charge? What do they charge? And alright, how do I compare with them in numbers? Just saying it frankly. And
Okay.
just calculate all that up, add that all up, and come down to price.
That's fair. Even though I've seen, even though I've seen some people charge ludicrous shit for some of the stuff they make. Like,
Oh yeah, those you just gotta ignore. You just have to be like where we all aren't super
Yeah.
rich. We're just normal working class people, and we know what we can afford,
Right.
and we know what we can't.
Yeah, I've seen dudes on Twitter, and this isn't, this isn't calling out anyone with a simplistic art style, but I don't know if I mentioned or talked to you and Pat about this, Absalon, but there's something on Twitter I like to call like the Twitter art style.
It's like real
Twitter art
cartoony.
style.
It's like super cartoony, yeah, and like super simplistic.
And bright.
And yeah, very bright, saturated primary colors and all that, and very rounded, like very round. I don't even want to say like rounded as like they're specifically fat, but just like really round, simple shapes. You know what I mean? Like that's like the Twitter art style. Because if you look on Twitter and you see anyone who's like got a lot of followers or like super popular there, chances are that you'll find that as like their that will be what their art style looks like.
I mean, if it gets them the view.
No, I'm just saying that.
Gets attention.
Yeah.
I think people like his simplicity because, like, if you look at the timeline, how that functions is they see so many images a day, so they're gonna just like what they catch their eye on.
Yeah, if it's eye-catching, it works, right?
I'm just saying that I think. I'm not hating on the Twitter art style. I'm just saying it's something I've noticed because, yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it as many times as I have to. I respect a unique or creative looking art style over a super uber duper realistic one most of the time. And present company not included with that. I'm talking about the people who, how I always like to describe it, like the super bright and uber detailed style where they make like you know what I mean, like a super realistic version of like an anime or cartoon character or of a video game character.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And
for example, what's his name? Cute Sexy
yes,
Robot. He's
I mean his
how do you call it?
I
don't know.
Go ahead. What you were gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Well,
go.
I guess I know I've said it before, but those people who have that ridiculous amount of detail in their stuff, they almost all kind of like bleed together. I've said that art's like a weird bell curve of like everything looking the same, where on the very low end of the spectrum, when there's like zero artistic ability or talent, everything looks the same because they're all just actually just simple shapes and all that. We have the stick men, or people may not have blocks or circles or anything.
Right.
And then on the far end, you have all the people who could do like portraits or high detailed anime art and shit like that. And they all start to bleed together because of that. And then everyone else is right in the middle with that, curve where you have the super unique people who can, be differentiated from others and all that. And I always tell people, aim for that middle. I mean, aim for what you want, but if you want to have a little bit of success, aim for the middle.
I don't know. I mean, whose robots like art style comparable to does like exactly the same? I think Sakimi-chan falls more into that, where it's like there's so many details to keep track that they all look the same compared to the others artists on top of that. Like you said with the bell curve.
And I'm not saying specifically cute, sexy robots with that, because his stuff is pretty good and all that. I'm just saying that in that vein of uber realistic, high detail.
But he pumps that shit out so much.
Yeah. Draws a lot.
I
Almost
understand.
every day.
I understand your pet peeve about that, because what I also see is indeed it's like rendering for rendering's sake.
Oh
I
yeah.
had like the discussion in a group once, and they were like really discussing about like, why are you rendering, like spending all these hours on rendering? Is it just because do you want to render? Is it because you are like, I don't know what do you call it?
Perfectionist?
Basically explain that a fully rendered image, if you call what you draw a fully rendered image, that's very self-entitled. Because you think that's a fully rendered image.
Okay.
So for you, that's my limit. That's what I call a fully rendered image. For somebody else, it could be like maybe not even half of that, maybe a third.
Yeah.
So it's very
It's prideful, I guess.
yeah, I don't know how to explain it.
Prideful or
The word
self-absorbed.
self-absorbed indeed.
Yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not one to like. I don't like shitting on other people's art style because they've, worked hard to get to whatever level that they are currently at, and I respect any kind of hustle for that. But
Right.
it's just in what I've seen, I just know that. That's like the thing I've seen and noticed is that that all art lies on like this bell curve of the worst people all look the same and the best people for some reason all look the same.
Right.
And obviously there's minor
Right.
technique differences and minor shaping differences, but overall I would say that most at the top kind of do look the same.
Right. No, I've done for my school, and for my work, I've worked in the game industry. Like I've done like a couple of odd jobs here and there, and I worked for a studio like for maybe a year. So I've been in that concept art world and the game design
Yeah.
world, and people follow trends.
Yeah.
Trends are very
Yep.
important because those sell. Doesn't like artistry doesn't matter when it's all about money. What matters is what impresses people. So like highly rendered images, and what catches their attention. So highly rendered images with like a lot of brighter colors, and anime girls and boobs, and all that. That's why all those people are doing it, because it sells.
I think it's like slowly killing the industry as a whole.
Oh yeah, it sure is.
Because
People
eventually you'll just get like, if everybody did that, just be like all the same game now.
I mean, Pad, look around you. Fucking every game wants to be a battle royale.
Well, when it's not, everybody says it's like Dark Souls or something.
That too.
Like people were saying God of War was like Dark Souls. And I was like, you're just saying that because he has a fucking axe or some shit.
He fights
He's
monsters.
been doing that way before that.
See, no, that's the reason that was memed and all this, because game journalism is just the biggest joke, I think, currently out there, because they don't actually talk about anything in the games. And my favorite part is that a lot of journalists don't even finish the game they review. They just give out first impressions of the game, and then they say, yeah, 10 out of 10. The first hour was great. But yeah, some of them don't even finish the game, and some of them are not even good enough to finish the game. Like they complain that it's too hard, and I think
That probably explains why Red Dead 2 got a high score. Except for her, the first half's amazing, but the second half's kind of crap.
What, Red Dead Redemption?
yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2
Doesn't even look like a game at that point.
doesn't even look or sound like a game at that point.
What
It
is
just looks like a simulator, like a cowboy simulator.
when you're simulating the cowboy?
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
It was very boring though. But it's
Where's
really
your
nice.
goddamn faith, Arthur?
Yeah. Not a fan of the laziness. Not a fan of the standard being so low. People are professionals, or supposed to be. What we pay you for. But Yeah, it's just the market, like you said, Bamboo. It's all about trends and all about getting that immediate traffic, that whole flavor of the month kind of thing.
Trends, money, clicks.
Yep.
So
And flavor of the month woman, or flavor of the month anime girl, or cartoon girl, like Me Gunner for some reason was
What does money taste
I
like?
don't know what money tastes like. I would assume like paper.
It's like paper with the smell of millions of other people's hand bacteria.
Oh yes, that's my fetish.
salty.
Yes, hand bacteria.
That's my fetish.
I lick dollar bills and I get hepatitis.
You ever hear those stories about people who write something on a dollar bill, and then when they give it away for like paying for stuff, they wait for it to come back, and they're like, "Oh, you've been so many places." I was like, I wonder how many ass cracks of hookers that dollar bill has probably touched. Yeah, you ever hear about those?
Oh, boy.
You ever hear about those? You never heard of people doing that, where they write something on? You've never heard about that, huh?
Never.
Yeah, there's people who write things or names on dollar bills to see if they ever get a dollar bill back. It's kind of a...
So that's so sweet and so thoughtful.
Well, to come back to cute, sexy robots, like learning how to render is not a bad thing, and rendering like a couple of times is not a bad thing at all.
What do you mean by rendering?
It's a tool set. It's a tool that you can use.
Like shading?
Yeah, do you mean shading style or?
Yes,
Okay.
like using color, using light. There are tools to send the messages to create a story. It's like giving, for example, if I just learned like a kid of maybe 15 to learn how to like use paint, all this like crazy kind of stuff. But he's still a kid. He's 15. He's not gonna make the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
He's gonna make like really stupid. So it's like it's the way you use those tools that really matters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most great art came from not the amount of tools that they had. It was the amount of tools they had, but in reverse. They worked with their restrictions instead of with what they had.
Yes.
That's where most great things came from.
Indeed.
They work in spite of the restrictions they have.
With eggs and dirt. Beautiful thing. And now we got 10,000 of millions of colors. It's all about the choice.
Yeah.
We evolved.
Oh, sure.
In the
in the wrong direction.
we went backward.
We enjoy looking at the unhealthy women and being like, yes, that is the mate I prefer. I want the one who can't move to sit on me and kill me.
Yes, the gift.
Wait, 40? Fuck.
Would you?
Yeah, 50 if they got like 400 pounds on them.
Oh, yeah.
The people like, oh, it's okay. You know, being fat is a good thing.
Let's not get into that.
No,
Let's
it's
not
not.
get into that.
Hid yourself.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't make me sneeze. Yes, let's not get into that. Let's not get into legit talk.
What's your favorite kind of lady?
Calais is one that can cook for me and die. In that order.
Oh, it's
In that
nice.
order.
Yo, what if like there was a girl that was made of gum, and every time she took gum, she would just put it on her boobs and it got bigger.
Wait, just every time she chewed gum?
Or like whenever her boobs get like a blowing bubbles.
You know that Korean man's character is pink.
Yes.
Does that count?
Yes.
I don't even know what's her name.
Yeah, I still know her name.
It's Cherry or something.
Yeah, well, it was cherry, yes. That's what it was.
You drew her once.
Yeah, but my memory is horrible. Horrible, man.
Can we talk about how? Can we talk about how many people just flock to pink-haired characters?
Disgusted.
Like that. Like I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Pink-haired characters get more attention on Deviantart than any other kind of character. I'm just gonna say it right now. If you want people to appreciate or notice your character, just give her pink hair. I'm not even kidding. It's like a magnet.
Will that be the Deviantart art style?
Yes, actually.
I believe more in the goth emo.
You think? You think so?
Girl with long black hair.
Yeah. Burp.
I also have the big titty goth G.
Yes.
I'm pretty.
That's the one that will get you the clicks.
Well, I mean, then just make an emo girl with pink hair. There. Now we've created the ultimate weapon.
Oh shit.
But that doesn't work.
Yeah, it does.
They can't have pink hair because they're emo. They don't like color.
She has pink in her black hair.
Oh.
She has dark purple
You see,
hair.
Absalon, you gotta be smart like me. You gotta think.
You fucking patronize me, you. Hey, Bamboo.
What?
How do I shade like you do? Do I just get my... Do I get my tablet pen and then I'll see color?
No. You go to the dark web.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You go to the Silk Road. You order some acid.
Okay.
You take it in.
Okay.
4 times.
4 times.
Workouts.
Go
Okay.
outside. Walk out of the forest.
Okay.
Trip the fuck out. Think you're dying. Go back to the city. Enter a random office building. Ask for water. Police get caught. And then go home. And so
What happened to the police in that story?
Oh no, that's a minor. It's not important.
Okay. I won't ask.
Right. And what's yeah, just draw spheres and cubes, and work a lot in black. So if you want to really like better your shading, forget colors altogether. And
Bamboo.
work in black exclusively for
Just-
a while.
How do I
Like
paint?
black and white.
Just
Yes,
use
black
shading in just black and white. Just monochrome. Okay.
Yes, black and white. Lots of grays,
Okay.
middle tones.
So work in grayscale for a while.
Yeah.
Way ahead, you. All I do is pencil.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Bamboo. How
Oh,
do
then
I
I would
paint?
recommend markers. Markers and ink.
Well, I do have some ink that I actually bought before I moved, so could probably do a little bit more training with that.
Good luck. Patty, what did you want to say?
How do I paint?
How do you do that?
You eat it. You shit it out on a
Yeah,
canvas.
first you go to
That's what you
the
think.
herbalist.
Okay.
You ask her nicely where the truffles are.
Is this
Hey, the man's speaking. Let him tell his advice. Let him give us advice.
Yes.
is this
Shut
in the
up,
White
Adam.
Orchard?
Shut up, Pad.
No, it's not the white orange, it's the herbalist. Go to the herbalist and you ask for truffles. And you ask for the lighter dose. You go home. You follow her instructions and brew a tea out of it. You gotta make it. Like it was 50 minutes, let it boil. 50 minutes, let it cool. And then 50 minutes, let it warm again. And then eat it. Drink it warm. After that, you go watch some anime. And after that, you go sleep. Have the weirdest fucking dream in your life. And then you come to bed.
At last.
Yes.
What if I pee it out though before I have the dream?
I think you're supposed to pee in the bed.
The what? Oh,
Like you're supposed to pee in the.
you gotta try
yeah.
again. Then you feel.
I thought you were supposed to like pee in the bed, then just kind of like rest in the liquid. Just let it soak into you.
Are we
Yes, of
recording?
course. Yes, of course I am.
Gotta soak in the nutrients from the pee.
Are we back? Is this part
Yes,
of the
this
podcast?
is part of absolutely. People need to know this. This is top secret information. People need to know.
If it's top secret information, then why are we telling everybody? They just go crazy.
Yeah, that's what I want. Yeah, you gotta induce a little anime.
No, we need to hide this from the world. People can't know the truth. It's too much
We'll
information.
create an
dude.
army of legendary heroes.
We need to do the right thing and kill Bamboo before you can
don't
kill
do
everyone
it.
else.
Please don't do it.
I'm
Don't
gonna
be
do
like
it. I'm gonna do art. Art is my
Just
drug, and I'm
art.
gonna get addicted, and I'm gonna die.
Perfect.
I overdosed on digital art, everybody.
Absalon, no.
Yes. I spent 128 hours on the computer, and my brain shut off.
Oof. Bad times. Lead paint used to kill a lot of artists, but that was in the past.
Who would you say was your main inspiration on before? Like, this is a question for everybody. Who was like your main inspiration before coming to DA and starting to draw this filth?
I mean, I was a weeb when I first started out with drawing. So I'd say just all of Naruto was my inspiration. Naruto and Dragon Ball Z, all the big three anime in my life were Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Bleach. So I'd say my art style just was born from enjoying them so much.
No, those are not bad art styles to have. Akira Toriyama is a legend.
Yeah, for a good reason.
Like the
Yeah.
Bleach manga is pretty good, not the anime. The
Yeah,
Bleach
I only
manga.
read the manga. I didn't watch that.
The dude is like a fashion designer, and he has like cool, like in between chapters still.
His,
Some are really
his ability
nice.
used negative space, or the median for all the art students out there. His negative space usage is top tier.
Very good. And Naruto is just
Yes.
cool. I just like the style that how he draws
Very
humans.
attractive art style, as he has said. That's what he said. That's what he focused on with Naruto, is making an attractive art style.
Nope, it reads really well, and it's very different. At the time, it was very different.
So I would say those three were my favorites, or my inspirations for drawing. And looking back at old stuff.
What about in terms of, like, the fat women?
Sasuru.
He died. What happened
I
to him?
think he just had to like go back to doing like real life. He just couldn't do art anymore or something.
He had to unplug from the Matrix.
Of all like the really big dudes back in the day, I'd say he was absolutely like one of the best.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, I don't know. It was probably all the Japanese dudes at the time that were doing that stuff. So I wouldn't know the names. But Sujinex is probably one you recognize. The one who did the Lucky Star comics and all that. Yeah. And Ginebus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For the longest time.
G Nipples?
Ginebus.
Is he the guy who,
He does Chunk.
Oh. Wait, yeah, I think I know him.
No.
Yeah, I think he, yeah. I've spoken to him once or twice, yeah.
Like Trinity and like all those guys. Kip also, I had like a long break, so I didn't like take those guys in my time. I was like busy with school at the time, and I wanted to distance myself for the finish.
Yeah.
Because just like existential crisis. No what's up.
It seems like a lot of fetish artists I know go through that like existential phase of like, I'm not making anything. I'm not making real art. What am I doing? So I definitely knew a lot of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do that. Yeah, I've gone through that a couple of times, yeah. I'm like, wait a minute. What am I gonna show people when they ask for like, will you draw?
Yep. It's kind of what I've been.
So every once in a while I'll post something normal.
Yeah.
Less than I want to, but it's good enough for me.
I'm just kind of doing as I want now, in a way, where if I want to draw something fetish related, I'll do it, or just, disguise me practicing painting or coloring or shading now as as a fetish piece, just to, you know, because with fetish art you can kind of focus on simple shapes, mostly round. So it's decent practice to get used to. Personally.
Question: what's your favorite type of girl to draw? Not like the body type, but like short hair, long hair, pale skin.
I'm pretty
darker skin.
Pretty sure you know my style well enough, Absalon, where I think you can answer that yourself.
So when I started out, my taste mostly comprised of Bond, and now that it's kind of changed, and it's kind of changed. Darker women with curly hair, sometimes even nappy, and I really want to make this OC who's pretty much like a black Kaftia, but I just never really had the time to get to it.
Huh.
Do it.
But when I do, that is pretty much going to be my current interest in.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Artistically, my favorite kind of people to draw are just body types with just a lot of power in them. So I just like drawing those super wide and thick body types, you know, with like it can be muscle, can be strong fat, whichever. Just I enjoy body types where I can play with their posing a lot personally.
Right.
That's the stuff I enjoy, but trying to get out of that comfort zone where I just draw muscular people all the time.
Interesting.
Personally.
That's interesting. What about name origins?
You mean for like our own characters?
Yeah. No, for our accounts. So.
Oh, well, Crete is the island of where my family is from, as I am a Greek boy, and that's the island as to where my heritage comes from. And Crete is a nickname I gained in high school. That was derived from creep. And I just told people, yeah, just call me Crete instead. I was like, okay. They did.
That's cool.
It's like the My Hero equivalent to Deku.
I just kind of accepted it and was like, alright, I'll just wait till they call me Crete. And I did, and they did. And now it's one of my nicknames.
Nice.
Nice.
For me, it would be was my first lurk account. I used to get like past the 18+ wall on Deviantart. And that was Bamboo Slayer 16. And the 16 was because I was 16 at the time.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Had the number until I changed it. And it was Bamboo Slayer because I liked this anime called Bamboo Blade at the time. These cute girls who practice kendo. I was really into kendo at the time. And
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Absalon? I don't think you ever... Have you ever told us about, like, why you have your, I don't think you ever talked about where your nickname came from, or your username.
I had this. I was going through a phase where I liked using Greek letters in my usernames, and I just thought that Absalon sounded cool, even though because it sounds close enough. It's because I spelled epsilon. The Greek
I'm
letter.
familiar. Yes.
For E. Yeah. But it sounded good enough. Like it matched up as like AbsolonAnonymous. You know, you got the A and the A, which is a nice signature. You know, the AA in the little circle. Kind of corny, you know. But I enjoy. You know, it's a good. It's a name that really rolls off the tongue. You know.
How about you, Pad? Where'd yours come from?
I don't think I was ever supposed to keep this name. Because when I was making not safe for account, I was just not serious about it. and there was actually one before this that where nothing really came about it, and that was Bikini Baby Boy. I don't know why the fuck I chose that name, but I try to use that and try to make a new art style so people wouldn't recognize it because I had a safe for work Deviantart account. Shut up. And I don't know if he can get picked up on here, but he's meowing a lot. And I think the username for that game was Sir Mr. Williams, and that was derived from my last name. And a lot of people call me like Mr. Williams up in class up until like I graduated high school because I had a quirky teacher. He was really cool. He had he always made me sit in the left-handed desk at high school because I was left-handed.
Oh wow, you're special.
But Pad, I was like, I don't even know why the fuck I chose Pad. It's like a super long name too. But I guess it kind of sticks. Not really though. It's like PaddywhacMacDaddy.
Oh, it kind of flows.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah, sounds pretty neat.
I forget. Can regular members change their names, or is it?
You have to have core to change your name.
Originally my name on here wasn't going to be Kreat-like-crete. It was going to be actually Kreat the Island, but the first half with Kreat, not the actual island. But for some reason, what came to my mind when I was entering in, it was instead Kreat-like-crete, which I thought just flowed a little bit better, and I'm a little happier that I decided to keep decided to do Kreat-like-crete instead of Kreat the Island, or the Island of Kreat.
Yeah, sounds pretty good.
I might make that my safe for work thing, because I was gonna open up a domain. There was gonna be my little art page online for that sort of stuff, for like comic work and all that. Just the Island of Kreat.
Yeah.
Maybe it will be. Who knows?
Yeah. I remember everybody was talking about commissions, and I don't really know where to start. I keep on saying I'm gonna open commissions one day. I just don't know. Hey Pat, I think your cat is broken. Anyways, but yeah, it's just I don't know. Like everybody keeps on saying, oh, you just gotta just throw prices out and see what works. But it's like I don't know what people price my art at, and I'm also scared to just say, oh, what do you guys think? Because they'll just go, oh, just $5 for a fully colored.
You should just do art for free, faggot. Yeah, that.
There are a couple of things. One, never undercharge yourself. Charge what you think you're worth. Two, make rules. No fucking furries. No, not ever whatever you want. You don't communicate those rules very clearly. Be picky. Pick when you pick, like out commission, but it's better for your mental health. Yep. Just drop the ones that you are sure that you, and pick the ones that you think are like this shit.
Funny enough, I think I told you the story, Absalon, about how someone was going to pay me $240 for a 5-page comic commission, and that is the most expensive commission I have ever been offered to do. But I legit, mentally, I wouldn't have been able to pull it off because I just couldn't do it. It was just too much mentally, and the character, I didn't like the character design. I didn't like how I didn't like the concept of the comic, so I just turned it down, even though it would have made me $240 for relatively not that much work, considering what he wanted.
What was the
It was the concept was that the character got eaten by a dinosaur and exploded out of it. I'm serious. Just this character like would have 2 guns and was like running away from like a T-Rex, and she'd get eaten, and then she'd kill the dinosaur from the inside out by like exploding a grenade from inside of it and not die. If you're gonna look at doing commissions, you are essentially saying, I'm going to make art my job for a little bit. And so, with most jobs, you can negotiate what your pay is going to be. Like, a lot of jobs actually do that. Like, you negotiate or say, what do you think your pay should be? And, you know, that's sort of what you have to do for yourself. Yeah, Bamboo saying you shouldn't undersell yourself is absolutely 100%. And it...
Yeah, no matter the trends or what other people charge it.
Because, yeah, you underselling yourself.
Guys, if you want a commission from me, it's $40 a pop.
Okay.
I do it all day. I'm trying to make it sound like I overworked myself because they're real cheap. Unless you're
my hands are broken and now my pee-pee fell off.
Oh God.
What if?
Yeah, that's just what if.
What if?
Man, dude, like those philosophers, the Philosopher's Stone, they can't keep up with you, Absalon.
Yes. What are you talking about?
Said they can't keep up with you. Where you got wax in your ears?
Yeah.
Just get it out.
You got cracks in your
Got crack in your ass?
Dude, you got crack ass?
Yes.
Yo, Bamboo, look, he's got crack ass.
I have no idea.
You don't know what crack is?
No, please educate literally everybody right now.
Dude, Epsilon, look at Bamboo. He doesn't know what crack ass is.
Loser.
Well, Bamboo, it looks like you and I don't know what crack ass is.
Oh,
yeah. This is...
I'm gonna go cry and complain on Twitter.
I asked the place for the most educated of discussions.
Oh, hell yeah.
Trump is black. Let's all agree.
Are you implying black is not good?
I'm saying orange is the new black, huh? We gotta get that.
Oh.
I'm sure that joke's been made.
I am guaranteeing you it is.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't do that.
Okay.
Please don't slurpity slurp on camera. Don't do it in front of me.
Sorry. I get a little nervous. Just
So what are all you boys drawing?
Commission. Fat bitch riding a bike.
I don't know.
A skinny girl and a fat girl next to each other. Flexing.
I'm trying to challenge myself again with a background and a bunch of bodies doing different poses in a hot spring.
Oh, sweet.
Sounds pretty fun.
I want to get back into doing backgrounds. Because that's what I did before I became Pad.
I want to do more backgrounds. I'm just lazy.
Yeah, backgrounds suck.
Yeah, but if you could pull them off, they make you feel
do you have
good.
any tips or do you have a process, Bamboo? Because I see you do backgrounds a lot in your full color pictures. You don't really have a tip or anything for that for some people?
Yeah, I got a couple. Let me think.
Didn't you mention you gotta think like concept parts when it comes to backgrounds? Like just quick details?
I'm not... What do you mean?
I think you were talking about one time, I think it was with Winter, and you had some concept art friends, and you would do some of the same methods you did.
Yeah, that I learned a lot from them. Like the professional friends I added spent a lot of time with them, and I learned some tricks from them. And I will share some with you. No trouble. Let me think. Reference. It's the first thing. Collect photos of what you want to draw. Don't just pull it out of your ass. So get a couple photos. For example, I'm now working on a cafe. So I got like 20 pictures of different sort of cafes, like on the front and with the chairs and all that kind of stuff in different light. So plenty of reference. So you can base your drawing on that. The other one is take your time. It's gonna take a long time. Rome wasn't built in a day, and it's a whole another beast than drawing characters. Other thing is perspective. It's very important. Take your time to construct everything to the teeth, because if your foundation literally of your background is not good, when you're, for example, drawing a city, like what you do on top is gonna be wonky as hell. So take your time to sketch it all out. And the other thing is readability. Don't make it too cluttered. Choose a scheme. For example, foreground is dark, middle ground is maybe light, and the background is dark again, or the opposite. So middle ground dark, foreground light, background light.
Interesting.
So you gotta work schematically.
Interesting you say that, because as I've done more research for comic work and how toning works, or just tonal values, and how there's specifically 5 different tonal values you can have in like black and white pieces. It's something I've come across in a little bit of research of my own, and I've looked at it and I was really interested because there's 5 different, or 5 main ones I should say, where it's dark on light, light on dark, halftone and dark on white, light and dark on halftone, and light and halftone on dark. And honestly, I'm even just gonna probably put the link to that picture in the description of this video for everyone who's interested to learn a little bit more about the tone depth thing, because it's helped a lot, honestly, with how my knowledge of, or not, I shouldn't say my knowledge, I should just say like, just it helps your understanding of how to construct a picture in a lot of ways, at least shading wise. And I can put it in our little chat here when we finish the episode, because it's really useful information, honestly. I'm surprised at how much it's sort of made me look at things a little bit more differently.
Oh yeah, especially with comics, because that is all about like getting the drawing out fast, getting it to a decent quality, make it readable. That's the key.
Yeah, that's
you have to be able to read the drawing, like from maybe like if you stretch out your arm, you have to still see that, oh, maybe that's a school building, and here.
Yep.
So that's
all just, yeah. Drawing comics is it's its own kind of beast.
It's called thumbnailing.
Its own kind of beast.
So make a like teeny tiny body other stuff, and if it reads well, then you then you can move on. Don't give up, skeleton.
Don't give up the ghost. The goose.
Yeah. I'd say just one of the biggest things for anyone at any level of art to remember. A key to getting better is challenge yourself. Like, if you just constantly do things that you can't do, and eventually you'll eventually start to understand them, and then you're gonna move on to things you can't do after that. That's how you get better.
No.
It's you kind of have to just tell yourself, yeah, I'm not good at this. Well, let's get good at it. You just keep doing it.
Yep. You're still gonna try it, and even if you fail, that's okay. You tried. You're gonna try again later.
Or just set up a list of things that you... Well, yeah, I'm honestly, as I've gotten older, I'm honestly surprised at the power of lists. Like, just setting up a list for yourself. And it works with anything, like... I've, like, set up lists of things I want to learn how to draw, and then I try and jump between them. If I start feeling like, okay, I'm not feeling drawing hands today, let's try drawing trees, or let's try drawing buildings, and then you can just sort of springboard between them, and it helps a lot, honestly. So
Staying fresh, that's very important. Like having fun and staying fresh. It's very dumb to say, but if you don't have fun in your work, you're not gonna learn. You gotta be like slept, gotta sleep well, and you gotta have fun in the work. That's the fastest way you can learn.
That's not the American way, though.
Oh no.
well, you see, Bamboo's not American.
Yes.
And it's so it doesn't apply to Americans.
Yeah, but you've got your ways. You have come far, so I trust you. You got some tricks up your sleeve as well.
Unshaking drive and the ability to not sleep. Yeah, I've recently started trying to sleep a little bit better. Just get more sleep because, yeah, it does wonders for you. People who, I used to be one of those boys who didn't sleep, and that changed my ways, and suddenly.
You may have to pull an all-nighter.
I mean, I understand for like school and all that, because yeah, sometimes for school I would pull all-nighters just to finish stupid assignments I could have done a week ago, but decided to do then. But for when you really want to learn something, sleeping lets your brain download everything, lets it file it all there, and then suddenly you're learning.
Yeah, it's your energy, it's your mood, and it's your concentration. That's what sleep provides. A good night's sleep.
So yeah, to all you out there, get some sleep.
Yeah.
And if you can't, when you can, get some sleep.
If you can't, OD on some NyQuil. You dumb piece of shit.
Pat said that, not me. Yeah,
No,
Pat said that, not me.
What, you can't sleep? That's
You can't
cool.
sleep, knock yourself out. Just hit yourself in the head with a big old piece of wood like a caveman. Pick up a big old log. Smack yourself with it.
Pick up a log and then
You're like Abe Lincoln, build you a log house if you can.
Go oingo boingo and smack yourself in the skull with a fucking piece of wood. God damn it, feet are hard.
go, go.
Get it. I just fucked up this shirt.
So Pat, anything you would like to talk about? Didn't you?
We could talk about how black holes
Okay.
have X-rays in them.
Did we just figure that out, or that's like
I
new
think so.
information?
No, if you haven't talked about this on the podcast, maybe this will be a good first. What's
I
the
know they probably
moment
didn't
you
talk
found
about
out?
this.
No, the moment you found out you had a fat friend.
Oh.
I don't think we talked about that specifically. I would, but I can probably say, ever since I was young, I could pretty much remember that I just liked it. I want to say it was sort of bred from fear, though, because as a kid, I always, because my dad was a doctor, or is a doctor, and he would always tell me about patients. I'd overhear about how he'd have obese patients come in, and they'd have horrible health problems and shit, and I would hear about that, and it would just it would like terrify me. So like I guess in a way my brain, my young boy brain sort of said, you know what, this thing is causing you severe levels of anxiety and stress, so let's repurpose it so that it's not going to ruin your mind and to turn into something appreciable, something I was like, yes, fat women. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I'm sort of convinced that a lot of people's fetishes actually did come from a place of fear, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of them did.
No, it could be.
Why, Bamboo? What's your story?
Maybe.
Yeah, what's your
Mine?
story?
Well, let me think.
What's your story, Mark?
I was 11, I think. No, I was 12. and he had his teacher on 7th grade, and she had this gigantic ass, and she was scribbling on the, like, what do you call it, chalkboard all day. So me, as a horny 12-year-old, could stare at an ass all day. So that's fucking up. But the most obvious moment I can remember was not a dream about like some slime girls on the moon. It's like this blue, like anime kind of slime girl. I didn't even know what slime girl was at the time. So my mind just made that up. Not a dream I was chubby slime. And then it all went downhill from them.
It all spiraled into something horrible.
Oh, hell yeah. It's a living nightmare.
Yeah.
Never woke up.
You've never woken up.
No,
Can we just talk about how Bamboo always responds with something hell yeah, no matter how monotone it is?
I do that a lot too. Just hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would also, I guess it's sort of an addendum to mine. I would always draw pictures of girls I liked in class when I was younger, just being fat. And I got in trouble for that a lot.
Oof.
I never showed anyone. It was just I got caught once. It would have like this one girl, like it would just say like Megan on the picture, and she'd be fat, and everyone thought I was like making fun of them. It's like,
right.
no, but you can't explain that when you're in like 6th grade or when you're just like 12.
Right.
You can't just say like, no, I'm doing it because I like her. It's like, then why are you drawing her fat? You're making fun of her. And like, no, I'm not. And then you can't explain it because then you sound like an idiot.
Shut up,
retard. Just say it to your principal. Just shut up, retard. I'm making art. Just making art.
You don't understand the beauty of my piece.
That reminds me of the fucking where he just draws dicks all day for no fucking reason.
Don't understand, I'm setting her free.
Some silly shit.
That's our whole spiel here on luck-based degeneracy. We take serious matters and we trivialize them until they have no more meaning.
Yeah, fuck cholesterol.
Yes. I guess the post irony approach to things, where the shitpost isn't the shitpost. The idea of the shitpost is the shitpost.
And yet we have here, as our guest, one of the best shitposters in this community, if not possibly the best.
Mostly because your shitposts are so good that people legit take you seriously.
Yeah.
It wasn't I didn't expect that at all, because I always did them, but I never uploaded them to my DA because I thought nobody would care about that. It's just trash. But on that one day, I thought like, nah, fuck it, I would just do it. Because that Lucy picture, I'd already posted it to Discord servers and stuff, and it didn't spread. That's what most surprises me to this day. Like, only when it was on my DA was that spread like wildfire.
It's because people take you seriously there.
Yeah, it was very unexpected.
They're like, oh my god, he's openly mocking
it's funny, because Better with Salt even like posted on that picture, and he was just super cool about it.
Oh yeah, he was so fucking nice, so great. I talked with him afterwards about it.
And he was just like, yeah, it's whatever.
No, I just explained to him that it's not personal. I don't fucking know you. I don't fucking know what you're up to, but it's just about like the artist versus the art. That's the thing.
But you know,
I use like his like work processes and his art style and just whatever. It's a what do you call it? A vessel to tell a story. That's all it is. It's no personal beef. I don't hate the guy. It's not jealousy. It's nothing at all. It's all just to tell a story. It's all to send the message.
Also, just really fucking funny.
Oh hell yeah!
I think my favorite one of yours is either the one that you did like in the collaboration with everybody else, or the one that's like you took the photo of the wiki hack. It's like step 1 or step 9, step away from anime, like avoid anime. Like the dude is like whacking his finger at like some fat like cat girl.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
I think the funniest part of that is the fact that the dude's standing in the middle of the street. If you look in the background, like he's like standing in the street and the like.
No, because you've all been to anime conventions, right? Yeah.
Just a couple, yeah.
You got like the cute, the sort of cute,
Yes,
fat girl that's doing all the anime posts and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's too real. You should draw that.
Step away from anime.
Use it
Oh,
as a
dude, I can
reference.
tell some con stories, dude. There's yeah,
Boy.
Tell us one. Tell us one.
I could tell you about the gray hall. I could tell you about the curse of the melting hallway.
Yeah, tell us.
All right,
tell us that
so
one.
this is involved with my friends who went to a convention, and it was when Homestuck was at like the peak of its popularity.
Oh no, not
And so with any sort of somewhat niche and retarded web series, with anything like that where it has the lol so random holds up spork Tumblrites who flock to this web series, you're gonna have people who are very passionate about cosplaying, but passionate does not mean skilled. So the thing is, when you do body paint for cosplaying, this comes from a guy who knew a lot of people who cosplayed and people who knew a lot of shit about cosplaying.
Right.
When you do cosplay and you have to do body paint, you have to seal your makeup because the thing is, in anime conventions, what people don't realize, it gets very, very, very hot.
Hot.
Especially if it's a summer convention. So, like this one was. So, there were multiple times where, and this is to anyone out there, if you've been to a convention, you know how it's like shoulder to shoulder. Everybody's just, bumping into one another in the hallways, going from thing to thing and whatnot. It's the whole shebang. So, when you're infested with Homestuck cosplayers, and most of them don't know how to seal their makeup, you realize that you are covered in gray body paint without even touching most people. And the worst thing was, so there was the rave that happened on the Saturday evening at the convention was where everybody was going to get all hot and sweaty, jump around and shit, and get very, 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 very drunk or do whatever levels of drugs. And so after the rave, I don't go to con raves anymore just because I think they're loud and obnoxious now. But when I did go and I came back with my friends, we heard a bunch of people like banging into one another in the hallway of our hotel and where we were heading to our room. And it was sort of like in The Shining, where the kid just like on his little tricycle just comes around the corner and sees the two girls standing there. And they're like, "Come play with us, Stanny," or whatever. And yeah, so we see like a door close and all that, and my friends and I just kind of like turn the corner and stand there and just gaze in astonishment at the hallway because
it's like
there was grave handprints, arms, like blood splatters all over the hallways. Yeah, we call it the curse of the gray melting hallway because it smelled of body odor and gray paint. It was very bad.
It's fucking horrible.
I actually have a con story if you guys are
Sure,
interested.
go ahead.
It's a really short one. I haven't gone to enough conventions to experience the horrors of leaves. I was just walking in this convention that was happening in, the place where I'm studying, and it was really cool. I actually saw the dudes from Screw Attack there. Like, they walked by me and I was like, "Hey," and they never responded. I'm like, "Oh," and that was it. But I was walking by this place that, you know, where the guys, they collect all their mangas, and they have like maybe 2 shelves worth of them, and they're just selling them at, you know, at these cons for, you know, people to buy all these different types of manga. And I'm just walking by, and I just heard this 40-year-old something lady just going on about her favorite yaoi comics, her favorite yaoi manga.
Hear a lot of that.
And this lady was like in her 40s, and she was greasy, and she just looked, you know, she was really ugly. Like, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. She was, you know, just like she didn't really seem to have good hygiene. She wasn't really taking care of herself.
You see a lot of that.
Yeah, you see a lot of that at those cons, but you know, these ones in particular, you just tend to see some of that, and it's like, wait a minute, this is weird. I'm gonna dip out. So then I hit the dab, and I ran out of there.
Dude. I've seen so many cosplay mishaps with some people. So, just as sort of a forward, or just my PSA on cosplaying. You know, there's the whole accepting, like, you cosplay whoever you want, cosplay whatever you want, cosplay however you want. You know, that whole, you know, we love everybody bullshit. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Understand your range of what you can cosplay, and, you know, work with that, because I've seen what is it, like, I've seen like 45-year-old dudes cosplaying as Ash fucking Ketchum, and I've seen women who are like cottage cheese cellulite in the front of their body, cosplaying Pearl from Steven Universe. And, you know, when you're young and chubby and all that, and you have the nice tight skin and all that, yeah, that looks kind of cute and all that. But when you're like 46 and, you know, your skin is giving way to all the fat cells in you, and it starts looking like a moldy bag of cat shit, it doesn't look so good in spandex.
Still do it. I would say.
I mean, you can. I'm just saying that there's gonna be a.
Well, that's because you're into it, Bamboo.
Yep. Bamboo.
They have to specifically get old, though. They gotta be old, and ugly, and smell bad.
He's into that kink shit.
Because I've seen my fair share of some thick ladies at these conventions, and a lot of them wear it pretty well.
As have I.
I'm going to one this weekend.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Well, that sounds nice. I hope you see just a lot of cool stuff.
Make pictures.
Well, it's a school one, so.
A school one?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like? Oh, like your school is hosting it or something?
Yeah.
Make
Oh
pictures.
boy, that'll be fun.
I want to cosplay as Reagan, but I do not have jack shit ready.
Just get a suit, you know, like a really cheap suit. Steal one from your dad or something.
My dad's like 2 hours away.
Reagan is the president?
You disappoint me, Bamboo.
Yeah.
Actually,
Is it the first time you've heard that?
oh my god. But sort of as an aside to when I sort of compounded my adoration of fat girls, was actually my first convention I ever went to. I saw a lady cosplay Lust from Fullmetal Alchemist, and she was of great heft, but she didn't have the disgusting moldy body. Yeah, she didn't have the moldy body. She was nice and tight and very round. And
watch the wording there.
But she was an adult. She was like early 20s, maybe even early 30s, and she was fine. But you know, I had to hide my had to have my public boner by making jokes about it. Making jokes about her. No, about her.
Boner? I had my shame by making fun of people.
I mean, yeah, that's what you do when you're an asshole, like 15-year-old.
And you're crying on the inside.
It was like,
oh my god, I want to touch you
yes,
so
actually,
bad.
because I was a 15 idiot, but
I want to give her a hug and I want to sink into her balls.
And I even said to my friend, and we still laugh about it, I just like grabbed him by the shoulder and was, you know, doing the whole playful like shaking thing. Said, "Lust ate gluttony," and that's been a joke ever since then, just because of that. And he's just like, "You're an asshole."
What if you just like came back to your friend, like you said that, you brought him into a dark room, you lit a lampshade, and then you just brought him a picture of like that you drew of like fat lust, and you just hand it to him, and you're just staring down as he's sitting in like a recliner chair looking at it under the dimly lit like lampshade, and then you just leave.
He pulls a gun on me.
We've heard of dimly lit, but what about dumbly lit?
Well, you're pretty dim, so maybe it makes sense.
Ouch.
Gotcha.
I felt that one from here.
You don't feel
I
anything.
haven't felt anything in months.
I can't feel my...
I can't feel my legs.
I can't feel my ass because of my hemorrhoid.
I'm sorry to hear that, Pad. Really, I am. You're right.
No, you're not.
I drew too many fat women, and now I can't feel anything.
No, I can't.
He fucked so many goddamn sheep that his left foot went totally numb, and then his left foot went totally numb, and he could not fuck anymore.
And so
that he killed himself.
But then they took the cum out of the sheep's womb, and
then he, and then he mourned, so then he killed himself.
And then he used the...
Suck my ass, faggot.
It seems that we're definitely giving the people what they want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I forgot we were
I'm
recording.
glad.
Yeah, we're recording. Oh my god.
Suck my dick, please.
No.
Need
Okay.
it. Please. No.
That's good.
Yes. Oh my god.
So, guys, so how long should we keep on?
I was
working
actually
with
about to
this?
say, if any of you boys had any last topics you wanted to do.
Yeah, kind of start drowsiness settling in. About what is your opinion on lollies?
On what?
Pollies?
On what?
Yeah, probably. Never
But
mind.
what are you even talking about?
Come again?
Well, I hear like the United Nations is gonna like ban them. You think that's gonna do
Oh,
anything?
he said lollies.
Oh,
Yeah.
lollies.
I know that's a sensitive topic to bring up.
What do you think about lollies? Kink shame all you want. I'm gonna kink shame.
You are gonna kink
yeah.
shame? Yeah, if you jack off to children, you suck. There.
It's not okay.
You know,
Yeah, there
don't
you
do
go.
that.
Fuck you. It's the same as with the dead bodies. It's also not okay.
I mean, everyone can be like, well, it's just a drawing. Yeah, but you know, you're still jacking off to a kid, so sorry.
It's not okay.
Sucks.
Yeah, sorry, you drew the Hero Academia characters. Yeah, you
Sucks to suck.
But they're aged up.
That's just sucks. Yes.
Full disclosure, I did draw My Hero Academia characters, or one My Hero Academia character for a commission. So that's the only reason I did it. And that's what.
I drew several, but I used
The only time that I drew underage characters was when I was 17. So.
Yes,
Smart.
yes,
Good
but
for
Absalon,
you.
do you not know that we live in the age where if you do literally anything, it could be dug up and then used to literally sentence you to death?
Yes.
So it looks like you're going to die.
We live in an age.
That's actually like scary to think
It
about.
is, honestly.
You just kicked in my exam. I'm gonna think about that for the rest of the
Sorry.
You can just use
Should I
the age
delete my Deviantart account now?
No.
Just age them up. Just
Yeah,
say they are
aged
18.
up.
They're all-
Make them all wrinkly and say they're 50. Just to be
I
safe.
swear, officer, they're all 18.
I don't know. This picture says it. This picture says it was uploaded in 2017. That would make her 2 years old.
I mean, if we're gonna consider that this character that you drew is only canon to the drawing that you made, this drawing is only 2 months old. Therefore, this character in it is only 2 months old. By consequence, you are a double pedophile.
I think that
Ash Ketchum was 10 years old for 10
he's
years.
been 10 years old for over 20 years now.
That was 10 years ago.
Maybe we should just cut all that conversation.
Yeah. Though I do have to say, one thing I definitely enjoy, Bamboo, is your thing of My Hero Academia where you drew all the girls and just what's her name, Tayo Yama or whatever her name is, the girl whose skin makes whatever. Just sisters, may I have some lipids is still like one of my favorite things to quote on the day, like quote from time to time.
Yeah,
I like how, like, for My Hero Academia, when everybody drew the girls fat, it's like there was their own, like, category. It was like a canon amongst the whole, like, fandom, and Mina, like, the pink
Unspoken
girl, had
canon.
these disgustingly fat, like, testicle sack arms.
Oh, Mina, yeah, the pink girl.
Yeah, Mina, the pink girl, was like,
She specifically had fat arms. I think that was because of Jeet.
yeah, she had, like,
I honestly think Jeet was the one who started that, and then everyone just said, "Yeah, that works for her."
yeah, well, guess what? I'm done with you.
It's all thanks to Kreat.
And it's all thanks to Kreat.
Yeah, I'm still really proud of that one, so thanks. It's one of my faves. Shame I didn't work it out though. Maybe some color, splash of color could help it.
Yeah,
Maybe, you never know.
yeah, I still absolutely.
Sister, may I have some lipids?
Sisters, may I have some lipids? I always read in like that kind of like Batman voice. Sisters, may I have some lipids? Mhm.
What's good?
Isn't that the one where it's like the pigs and his like brother?
Yes.
Oats?
Yep. That's the one.
Yeah,
Brother, may
I hate.
I? Brother. It's actually supposed to be Bruther. Bruther because it has the umlaut over the O. So it's a Bruther. May I have some oats? Okay, it seems that we have nothing to talk about except stupid shitposty stuff.
Yeah, I mean, guess who we're talking to?
We are talking to a king.
Talking to the shitpost lord of the fat community.
Oh yeah.
He stands undefeated. Many challenge him for his throne, but then he says,
What about you?
"Pee pee doo doo caca," and we all die.
It's like a rap battle.
Wait, how's that one thing go? What are you gonna do? Shit your pants? Maybe. No, what are you gonna do? Piss your pants? Maybe. No,
Yeah.
fuck.
No, what? No. What are you gonna do? Cry? Piss your pants? Maybe even shit.
I think that's a good stopping point. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
We should,
Wait, you never
that.
seen
No, I
Come
have never
before?
done both at the same time, Pat, and I never want to experience that ever.
Can you just imagine how it would feel if you just like ejaculated, but you took it? Like
No,
a
I
fish?
don't want to think about that. Thank you.
No, I'm putting it in your
That's
mind now.
when sauce is
You
made.
can't escape it. It's in your mind now. You can't get.
great having you.
The elation of like release from both boards.
Okay.
It was a
I'm
pleasure
glad
to
that
be here.
I'm very
Thank you for the opportunity.
Fatty Cass is.
I'm very grateful that you decided to take time out of your day to come join us, Bamboo. It was great to have you.
No,
Pat, it was also a joy to have you.
I enjoyed the first two
I don't
podcasts.
say anything.
Well, I hope we can have you. I hope that we can have you guys again, because yeah, this was definitely a lot of fun, and I think everyone learned a lot about a lot of things, like the how to get better at art, some background tips, how it feels to shit and cum at the same time, and yeah, I guess we can just cut it there. Well, anyways,
I call it charming.
I'm Kreat.
I'm AbsolonAnonymous.
So is it anonymous because you're scared of people finding out your location?
Yeah. I'm very
Okay.
paranoid. People don't realize this. I'm very paranoid about my location on the internet.
Yeah, no shit. Are we too?
I'm gonna cut that out. But Pat, just say
I didn't
just
really
find
find that funny, but okay.
just say your Pad.
But
Anthem Bamboo.
And remember, everybody, art is all luck based. Bye bye.
Hey, Bamboo, can I have some lipids?
Yes.
How
After
generous.